Greetings and salutations, and thank you for clicking on this video. This is an experiment. I have a blog post that I kind of feel strongly about, and I was going to post it on the Easy Linux Facebook page, and I got to thinking about it. You know, when I post things there and other places on the web, I'm always a bit concerned that all the folks who follow the YouTube channel don't get to see them. Because even though I ask you to check out Easy Linux on Facebook at the end of the video, that doesn't mean you have time to do so. And some folks just aren't Facebook users. So, what I figured I would do is actually read you the blog post in a video. That way you can share it here, or you can go to the Facebook page and look at it there and share it there as well. Whatever you want to do with it, it's up to you. Let's see how this goes. This one is called Accentuate the Positive, an open letter to the Linux community. There is an air of pessimism that has crept into the discourse I hear from many Linux podcasters and bloggers that I find a bit disturbing. It's almost like these folks are disappointed that desktop Linux hasn't taken over the world or something. I personally think Linux is doing pretty good. I just posted numerous testimonials from people all over the world who love working with Linux and are happier than a pig in slop on easylinux.com. But yet this negativism persists. One thing I keep hearing is the constant yammering on about games. Linux doesn't have enough games. You still need Windows to play games. So what? Not everyone has time to sit and play games with their computer. Some folks have lives and use a computer to get work done. Thank you. Linux works just fine for them. Another thing I hear is a lot of talk about audio and video production and how Linux is not as good as Mac. Again, so what? You are producing content for the web, and this is important to you. I get it. But not everyone wants to do Hollywood-grade production with their computer. There are perfectly acceptable audio and video editing applications for Linux that will do just fine for the person who wants to do some simple editing of home movies or put together a basic YouTube video. Once again, Linux works fine for them just as it is. Look, I'd like to see Linux be the best at everything you could possibly think of doing with a computer just as much as the next guy. But the reality is that those who have very specific needs will seek out and find the platform that serves them best. If you want to do super polished audio and video, Pro Tools and Final Cut Pro on a Mac is probably what you need. It'll cost you though. If gaming is your thing, you'll probably build a super duper double clutching water-cooled behemoth of a PC and run Windows so you can play every single video game known to mankind. Have fun with all the malware. I hope you don't miss the wife and kids when they leave you because they feel neglected either. Most folks need a secure and stable platform to do everyday things, like surf the web, manage email, manage photos, listen to music, generate documents, and so forth. Linux shines at these tasks, but the focus on the niche use cases of gamers and media producers tend to overshadow that fact. Situational myopia is to blame here. Hey, Linux content provider type people, it's not all about you. Got that? Another thing I'm hearing is more and more rough language. No, I'm not a prude. But I endeavor to keep my content family friendly, so you can watch my videos with the kids in the room and not worry about them hearing something off color. That's called good taste. One podcast I have been watching for years has devolved into constant graphic references to the host's genitals. Really? How does this contribute to the conversation about Linux? It doesn't. It just turns off viewers who have matured past the stage where that would be funny. The negativity is not just coming from Linux pundits. It also comes from those who view content and feel it necessary to nitpick everything that is said by the provider in the comments section. The Linux community is itself its own worst detractor. While I fully support anyone's right to express their opinions, I also sometimes wonder what these folks hope to gain by tearing down someone else's work. Oh, I'm not talking about your average garden variety troll. On the contrary, these are Linux users who usually start their comments with something like, "Linux is great, but we still don't have a good alternative for Photoshop." Then they proceed to write 3 paragraphs about how Linux can't compete against the mega software companies and it's doomed to a niche existence. Fine. I can't help but think the time taken to write such a comment could have been better spent sending Adobe a nicely worded message asking them to port Photoshop to Linux, or better yet, donating a few bucks to the GIMP project. I really started to notice the melancholy set in when Canonical announced major downsizing in April. Even folks who don't use Ubuntu were affected by the sudden change of direction. I get the feeling that the entire community is holding its breath, waiting to see what Ubuntu 18.04 is going to be like. That will be the first Ubuntu LTS with the GNOME 3 desktop. Yeah, I'm curious too, but I'm also stoked about how rock-solid stable the latest Linux Mint is. What about all the innovations coming to KDE Plasma? How about the exciting work being done with Solus? All of this is positive. Why can't we start focusing on what's good for everyone and downplay all the negatives that affect the few for a while? I'm not saying not to be honest about challenges and shortcomings, far from it. I'm saying that it would be better to concentrate on positives that benefit every kind of user, not just the gamers and the media production types. They'll find their own way. They always do. Thanks for listening to the video. I certainly do appreciate it. Be sure to give Easy Linux a like on Facebook if you are a Facebook user. And also check out easylinux.com and freedompenguin.com for more about Linux. We'll do it again soon.